Hey everyone! Welcome back to Nothing But Anime. We're diving into part 2 of our all-new series, What If Toji Fushiguro Became a Hashira series today. If you're enjoying the journey, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more exciting content. Now, let's get into it and see where this adventure takes us next. It's been 2 years since Toji came to this world. He had been gathering information about things like sun breathing that was created by first bright users and the person who defeated Muzan Kibutsuji but failed to kill him. From this he also found out about a demon Yoruchi didn't kill who with Muzan. Her name was Tamayo and she was demon doctor who wishes to kill Muzan and also had removed the curse that Kibutsuji Muzan put on all demons. He was not able to find her because of the blood demon art that helped to stay hidden. Toji wanted this blood demon art and work with her. He could a lot of information about demons' weakness from. Toji got information about her existence and sun breathing from the old documents of Rengoku family and Ubuyashiki family. He was currently interested in gathering all the information that could give him edge over demon. Toji was not a person who will jump into a battle without any preparations. He needed to find Demon Dr. Tamayo and everything about Upper Moon blood demon art. He got some information about Upper Moon 2 from the encounter of his with Flowers Hashira. The memory of Ju showed not much since he was not present anywhere other than funeral. Toji to talk with Kikuchi who were there for cleanup of place after battle. From what got was that the place where battle happened was quite cold and there was ice at some places even though battle happened in summer. This meant that Upper Moon 2 blood demon art had something to do with ice manipulation. The Upper Moon 2 had a unique preference for eating women. There was information about him being an cult leader of some cult. He have blonde hair and have 2 golden fans as his weapons. Toji was pretty sure that Demon's technique would affect the lunges of opponents since that was a major weakness of Demon Slayers. Toji also got some information about Upper Moon 1 but it was not much other than him being a Hashira during Sengoku era and he killed the head of Ubuyashiki family at that time to present it to Muzan in exchange for becoming a demon. His real name was Michikatsu Tsujikuni. He was older brother of son Hashira Yoruchi Tsujikuni. He uses moon breathing and is the strongest demon after Muzan. Toji wanted to test the strength of Muzan's strongest demon strength but not without proper preparations. He was second strongest Hashira during Sengoku era and Kikuchi were created after his betrayal to Demon Slayer Core and Mutara of Ubuyashiki family head. His brother had to leave Demon Slayer Core because of his betrayal but in Toji's eyes that was a foolish on Demon Slayer's side. They finally had someone who could kill Muzan but they let go of the chance. Toji was writing the information about Upper Moon in his book and trying to create a plan to counter their blood demon art. He currently had a solid information about things in this world and about demons. The current Mist Hashira was descendant of First Breath user but his wife died with his child unborn from a demon attack, so it was pretty much clear to him that Michiro descendant of older brother who became demon because he left his family for becoming a demon slayer and younger brother never married again. Toji also found out that the younger brother taught many people sun breathing but they all were later killed by Muzan and there's not much information about it left. Though he was sure that could find out about sun breathing after he found Tamayo, who helped Yoruchi finding Muzan in Sengoku era. This was also reason because she might have information about Muzan's blood demon art and sun breathing. Toji was trying his hardest to find Demon Doctor after came to known about her existence. Working with her will greatly benefit Toji and he don't let go of such opportunities for some foolish thinking other have for demons. If it benefits him, he will do anything. Currently he was write all this information about demons and they way to counter them in this book. He was able to find that demons usually try to create something that either traps their prey or protect their neck. It was not going to be the case Upper Moons that was pretty much clear to him after getting information about 2 Upper Moons. They pretty much try to make their enemy ability useless in battle like Upper Moon 2 using ice to damage lunges. This not much problem for Toji since his body was extra strong and he was going to find a way to counter this. Toji didn't need breathing style to battle his enemies since could make do with his heavenly restrictions. Toji sitting near window finished writing information that he got from all his research. Then his Kasagi crow came to him with a letter tied to his leg and it spoke, "Call letter from Urokodaki-san. Letter from Urokodaki-san. Read it Ju. Toji took the letter from Crow's leg and started to read it. The letter said, "I hope that you are doing good Ju and able to forgive yourself for what happened in past. Currently I am writing this letter to tell you that Tanjiro was able to cut the boulder and is ready to enter final selection and will be going next week. Nezuko have not awakened from her sleep. It been 2 years since they both came to me. The boy had grow very much. And at last I think we should tell Master about the situation of Nezuko. It would problematic if a Hashira saw a young demon slayer carrying a demon with him and at last take care of yourself and be too hard on yourself. I will sending a letter Master Ubuyashiki about this situation if Tanjiro passed the final selection. Your teacher, Urokodaki." Urokodaki was teacher of Giyu Tomioka and former water Hashira. He is one who was taught Ju breathing style and was currently taking care of Kamadu siblings at the request of Ju. Toji had decided to see where the decision made by Ju going to take Demon Slayer Core. Toji knew that Ju was quite smart. His decision was not based on still observation of Nezuko defending his brother. It also showed that the potential she possessed. Tanjiro and Nezuko were hope of Ju for better future. In whole Demon Slayer Core Ju knowledge about things low about common things but he was quite sharp in seeing potential of his enemy and finding a way to counter or support his partner to use it to his advantage. He had took advantage of Demkins underestimating Shinobu and taking full attention on himself to finish mission quickly and without much casualties. This showed that Ju was capable of using very thing that a demon ignored to his advantage. The poison and stab were usually something that all demons ignored those who didn't made mistakes by taking of their eyes from Giyu in mid-battle. He didn't want to be useless like was in final selection, so he trained like hell every day to push past his limits, and that was something that Toji also did in his life so he can leave Zenin clan at his terms. Currently Toji had a problem now since he needed to bring the matter of Nezuko in front of other, and Toji himself didn't make much difference in impression of Giyu on other Hashiras, and Sanemi pretty much hated Giyu. But now that he needed to tell them about Nezuko, and Toji knew how they will react. Ubuyashiki Kagaya was smart man, so Toji knew he will understand the importance of Nezuko existence, but problem was other Hashira, especially Sanemi, Abanai and Kocho. They had deep hatred towards demons and were not going to accept Nezuko. So there was simple options for Toji: either make them accept or beat every Hashira to protect the Kamadu siblings, and then forcefully make them accept her. This was going to be a hassle, but that would come later after Tanjiro passed the final selection. Toji decided to go and visit Urokodaki and visit Tanjiro to see if he could survive it. So Toji wrote 2 letters that were for Urokodaki and Ubuyashiki Kagaya. He wrote that he going to visit him in first letter and was going to test Tanjiro in a fight, and it might give him a little experience in battle before entering exam and might prepare him for real fights. The second letter was for Ubuyashiki Kagaya, and it said that he was going to visit Master Urokodaki to see the new student that was entering final selection, and if there are any mission that area he will any willing to take them, and gave them to his crow. He said to him carefully to deliver message first to Ubuyashiki Kagaya. Toji also pretty much respected the head of Demon Slayer's crops now, but he was pretty sure that reason behind it was the mysterious power behind his voice. But he didn't mind it since that man didn't had any ill intention and didn't want it to take advantage of him since he didn't knew about what Toji can do. That man just had hatred for Muzan, and Toji could very slightly sense it whenever Muzan name was taken from his mouth, but that was not big deal since every Demon Slayer hated Muzan. But he was impressed that how well Ubuyashiki had hidden his hatred and was only devoted to protect people and find a way to kill Muzan. Toji took his sword and other things he needed for journey. Then he took off towards the mountain where Urokodaki's house was. Currently at Mount Sajiri. It'd been few hours since Ju message came to Urokodaki, and he happy that Ju was coming to visit him. Though Master Ubuyashiki had sent him letters before telling him about Ju's situation getting little better than before, and Urokodaki understood that happened because of Tanjiro and Nezuko. He was thankful to both of them. They lifted a burden that was placed on the heart of Sakanji for years. He wanted Ju to take off the guilt that he'd been harboring on his heart from the day of final selection and his sister death. The change that was made in Ju behavior also showed in the letters he wrote to him. He was changing even if it was happening slowly, it still was good thing that it was happening. Tanjiro was currently in his house with his sister who is still asleep, but I have hope that she will wake up when Tanjiro wakes up. Urokodaki got Ju's letter and went in to inform Tanjiro about Ju. Tanjiro was currently sitting near his when Urokodaki came to him and said, "I believe you are ready for final selection, but there will be last test for you two before you go to the final selection." Tanjiro looked at Urokodaki and asked, "Urokodaki-san, didn't you said that splitting the boulder was last test?" Urokodaki said to him, "It's not a test that I am taking. From my perspective you are ready for final selection." Tanjiro was a little confused from those words, but Urokodaki continued, "It's a test that Ju want to take before you go to see how much have grown, and to show you what might to be facing in a demon." "I see, so that means he will coming here? I will try my best." Tanjiro said to, but he little worried since he didn't know what was his test going to be. Urokodaki put his hand and said, "Don't worry Tanjiro, this test is only for giving you a little battle experience and show you what you need to become for your sister. And this test will simply help you in final selection." Tanjiro nodded heavily in understanding, and Urokodaki only smiled behind his mask since Tanjiro was reason for Ju change, and currently he was feeling thankful towards him. Ubuyashiki Mansion. After Ju's crow delivered his message. Ju crow came few minutes ago. He was old and tired. So Amain, the wife of Ubuyashiki Kagaya, gave it water and food and took message that was on its leg. She knew that this crow was old but wanted to serve the core. So she was grateful towards Water Hashira to keep him. The Kusagi crows were reason why Ubuyashiki family was able to communicate and deliver the mission's info to Demon Slayer and Hashira. She took the message to her husband. Ubuyashiki Kagaya was currently in his futon and had upper part of face was getting infected from curse. It will not be much time when he will lose his vision. She was woman of strong resolve and took care of duties of her husband from time to time. She gave the message from Ju to her husband and said, "I message from Water Hashira Tomioka Ju have came." Kagaya said in sweet voice, "I see," and took the note. He read the note and said, "Ju want to visit Urokodaki-san and is going to Mount Sajiri. He want to see Urokodaki-san's new student before he enter the final selection. He seems to be quite fond of this child." Ju said that he will be willing to take any mission that will be near that area. He then looked at his wife and said, "Amain, please write letter to Ju, and tell him that he can take few days off and visit Urokodaki-san. I will appoint other Hashira for his missions till he returns, and please give information about the student that Urokodaki-san took after final selection." Amain-san write down every that her husband said and was going to when Ju's crow itself came in. She tied the knot on Crow's leg and put note in it. Before leaving, Ju's crow remembered something from Ju and said, "Caw master, please be expect an important letter from Urokodaki-san. Important letter from Urokodaki-san after final selection." With this, Ju's crow took flight in sky and went towards the direction of Mount Sajiri since Ju already left for there. He knew that master will accept Ju request, so he also left for shortest route towards the Mount Sajiri. Ubuyashiki Kagaya looked at night sky as Ju's crow left his vision and was thinking, I believe this might have something to do with the demon girl that Ju and she brother that he sent to Urokodaki-san. I hope the decision that you made that day be right. It will be great help to Demon Slayer Corps if there was a demon strong enough to resist Muzan himself. It might be our last hope to bring him out of his lair. And if preparation of war that you are doing Ju end in our favor, then whole Ubuyashiki family will be eternally grateful to you. Ubuyashiki Kagaya knew from start about Nezuko condition and the decision Ju made by sparing his life. He was grateful that he sent Ju to that mission that day. He also knew about all the information Ju was collecting about upper moons, sun breathing and Tamayo-san. It made clear to Ubuyashiki Kagaya that Ju pretty much knew that what was going to happen in future if Nezuko kept resisting the urge for human flesh. He was also impressed that Ju was able to deduct the abilities of Upper Moon 2 just from the information he got from Kakushi-s and was trying a way to counter their blood demon art. He was also searching for Tamayo, who a demon doctor, and reason behind this might be because he wanted to know about Muzan abilities and way to counter it. Ubuyashiki was just smiling in hope that the decision that Ju made may help Ubuyashiki family to remove the stain named Kibutsuchi Muzan from their bloodline and demon from existence. He then looked at his wife and said, I believe we will be seeing a huge wind of change in future. I hope that this wind will be in our favor. Currently with Toji was on his way to Mount Sagiri and he was pretty much killing any demon that his senses could show him. He also encountered many Slayer too in his way. Few were capable of killing demons on their own. So, he didn't interfere in their battle and just waited for them to finish. He didn't want to be a block in their growth and demons pretty much sense him and get distracted, which gave Slayers chance to finish them off. But when the demon were too strong for Slayers or would try to take hostage, Toji would kill them and leave after telling to Slayers about what they are lacking to grow stronger. Toji might not have expected himself to be turned out like this before if someone said to him, but currently he was trying to make amends to his wife. So, he was going to do anything and will protect as many people as possible to just get on chance for asking forgiveness from his wife after his death, and his first decision was to kill Muzan, but then Nezuko came to his and she could also for if Muzan was killed, so he decided that he will help Tanjiro find for his sister. That was also the reason he was finding Tamayo too. Currently he was near Mount Sagiri and was watching a Slayer kill demon. As much he knew from Ju's memories, this boy was at final selection with him, and he was named Murata. Though Toji was not a person who good at remembering fave, but Ju memories kept every face and name he thought important crystal clear. He was impressed by Ju memory, but it also reasoned for his depression too. The death of his sister and Sabito were too clear in his memories like it happened yesterday. It was Ju's memories that pushed Toji to make his amends and didn't let him forget what promise he did to his wife. In a way, Toji was also grateful to Ju for forcing him to complete his promise and not letting him make same mistake again. Toji looked at the door of Urokodaki's house and it was still same as he saw in Ju's memories. He knocked and gate was opened by a man in Tengu mask and he said, "It's good to see you again, Ju. You look better than before." Toji also said, "It's good to see you again too, master." Toji was standing inside the house now. Tanjiro was sitting in front of him and Nezuko was sleeping. He looked at young boy, he was grown stronger. Tanjiro said to Toji while bowing his head, "Tomioka-san, thanks for believe me and Nezuko that day." Toji simply looked at him. This should have been said to real Ju, but he was not here and Toji was never the one who left Nezuko and Tanjiro under Urokodaki care and neither would have cared in past. So he simply said, "No need to thank me. I only did that because your sister protected you, and it was never seen before in history of Demon Slayer's crops that a demon who was just transformed resisted the urge to hunt and protected the person near him. Both of you were anomaly for me. I did what was right from my perspective. Tanjiro, I am not the one who you should thank, and you should be thankful Master Urokodaki and Ubuyashiki." This caught Urokodaki attention, and he asked, "Huh, Juro, did you told Master about her situation?" Toji looked at Urokodaki and said, "I have not told Master about, but I will not be surprised if Master Ubuyashiki already know about it. I am pretty sure that he already knows about it." Urokodaki was not much shocked about it since he knew that Master Ubuyashiki might already knew about the situation Nezuko was, and decided trust Ju judgment and wait for them to tell him. But problem might other Hashiras knowing it. He was worried about Ju already because of his relationship with other Hashira, and he didn't want Tanjiro to suffer same or worse treatment. Tanjiro was still confused about it since he didn't know much about Demon Slayer Corps and only thing he knew were taught by Urokodaki-san. So he asked him, "Master Urokodaki, who is Master Ubuyashiki? And how will already know about Nezuko?" Urokodaki looked at and said, "Tanjiro, listen carefully. Demon Slayer Corps was created by Ubuyashiki family 1,000 years ago to protect people and kill demons. The head of Ubuyashiki family are also head of Demon Slayer's crops. Master Ubuyashiki knows everything about Demon Slayer mission through Kasagi Crow that provided by them to every Slayer for giving missions to Slayers. So, there a possibility that Master already knows about Nezuko condition and just waiting us to tell him. Since protecting the demon is taboo in Demon Slayer Corps, but Nezuko condition is different, and he might want to our judgment on this case before we tell him." Then Toji looked at him and said, "The problem is not Master Ubuyashiki knowing about Nezuko condition, but it's others members since they will need evidence and many might still not agree since their dear ones were killed or become demon. Remember one thing, Tanjiro, if you become Demon Slayer then you cannot tell anyone about Nezuko until Master himself don't meets you and gives order for not killing your sister." Tanjiro nodded his head heavily and was just listening. Then Toji said to him, "Take you katana and go outside. I am going to test you in one-on-one battle." Tanjiro left the room and Toji was left alone with Urokodaki. Urokodaki looked at him and said, It seems that meeting Tanjiro that day have changed you, Ju. Toji simply looked at him. He was not Ju, but the memories showed that Ju also a little different from his usual self after meeting Tanjiro, but he didn't know what it might have affected him. Toji looked at Urokodaki and said, I am trying to make some amends. Maybe if I was not stuck in past so much, then I would have gave present more attention and his family would have been alive. Urokodaki after hearing the words was sure that Ju was still in internal conflict, but now it was for different reasons. Now he was finding ways of making amends. So he said to him, it's still good that you were able to came out of the past that was tormenting you and I believe you have grown stronger too. Last comment was on give height and body, it was stronger than before. Then Urokodaki stood up and said, let's not make Tanjiro outside. It's getting cold. Toji also stood up and nodded at Urokodaki, then they both left the house. Tanjiro was currently sitting outside the door of house. He then looked at Toji who was standing against him and suddenly a wooden sword strike came to him. He barely dodged it but Toji said to him, don't be relaxed just because you think you are a safe spot. If it was demon in hiding you would die just from lack of care and it also become reason for death of many other students. Also keep your nose open to slight change of smell. I don't know if you can wake up if suddenly a demon attack through projectile while being in shadow. Tanjiro was no trying to make sure that he noticed slight change in their smell. He looked at Ju who was standing with wooden sword in hand. This was kind of overlapping with Sabito since also attacked him with wooden sword to teach him. Toji looked at stance Tanjiro took and said, don't just stand there. The demon might kill hostage in meantime you are in deep thinking. Tanjiro didn't understood about demons since there was none, and thought he was tell for future but then Toji launched a fast strike at Urokodaki-san and he didn't dodge but just looked at Tanjiro. Tanjiro was little surprised by Toji attack on Urokodaki and barely blocked it from hitting Urokodaki-san. Toji said, currently think of me as demon and Master Urokodaki as the hostages you need to protect while fighting. As a demon slayer dying while protecting is not acceptable, you need to survive and keep safe the civilian. Death is not option but a hurdle that you need to overcome in every fight keep people safe. Tanjiro understood that this was going to be difficult since he had only trained with Sabito in one-on-one battle and there was no civilian around to protect to but he now could not concentrate properly. Toji said to him, demon slayer are not like Ronin that you get to fight one-one against enemy. They are like the samurai who need to protect the person near them at all cost. This was something once that a foolish jujutsu sorcerer said once to him but instead demon it was curse and demon slayers it was jujutsu sorcerers and curse user. But Toji changed it little to his preference. Tanjiro attacked Toji using water breathing but Ju simply dodged but after a while he started to counterattack instead of dodging. He looked at Tanjiro he was getting exhausted. He said to him, don't just attack your enemy try to improve in battle to have edge in battle. The attacking dodging went for a while and Toji didn't take single strike but he didn't Tanjiro just made sure that his attack were at a speed that he could barely dodge. After seeing Tanjiro completely exhausted he said, if you are fighting a strong demon alone with any civilian near you then try to take few steps back and focus on what you learned about demon and his way of fighting. Try to make sure that he thinks that he is at advantage and you are at disadvantage to make sure he put his guard down. But this is not acceptable when there are civilian near because then it will target them to lure you out. Remember one last thing, demons will try to make sure that you lose your temper in battle by telling you about how they kill and how will they kill you, so try to keep your head cool in every situation. Tanjiro said, yes, Tomioka-san and thanks for the lesson I will remember it. Toji then looked at him and said, that will be all for no and started to walk inside. He was just near the door FO house when he stopped and launched another strike on Tanjiro with his wooden sword but this time Tanjiro blocked. Toji simply looked at and gave a small smile and said, now I believe you are ready for final selection. Tanjiro bowed again said thanks Tomioka-san. But Toji was already in house. Urokodaki looked at him and said, Tanjiro, Ju is already inside. Then Tanjiro looked at door in front of him dumbfoundedly. Urokodaki said again, you did very well, just remember everything he said to. And be happy a little because making Ju smile is hardest thing to do that even I have done only few time. So you did good, now let's insides it's getting cold and you are going to go to final selection tomorrow at Mount Fujikasani. Both went inside the house. That day Urokodaki-san made salmon and radish for Tomioka-san since it was his favorite food and then they went to sleep. Next day Tanjiro was ready to go towards Mount Fujikasani but Toji stopped him and said, you had to stay late because of so. It would be better if I take you there with me early. Urokodaki also nodded in yes at Toji's suggestion. Tanjiro thanked Toji for this and they both outside. Toji picked up Tanjiro with one hand and took off at full speed towards Mount Fujikasani. Before leaving Tanjiro said to Urokodaki for thanking Sabito and Makamo for helping him train. Urokodaki was shocked that how did Tanjiro knew the names of those deceased children. Toji simply said that, maybe their spirit have not passed yet are waiting for someone to kill that demon. I believe Tanjiro can do it. Tanjiro was amazed by the sheer speed at which they were traveling. He thought just how fast are we going? I don't even see passing trees or fields because the speed. Tanjiro had never seen a Hashira so this speed was a shock too and Toji on top of it was even faster with total concentration breathing. Toji looked at Tanjiro whose face was deforming because of speed that they were going so. He decided to slow down little for him. It took him less than an hour to even reach near Mount Fujikasani but at outside of mountain he dropped down Tanjiro and said, from now on you are going to enter as a normal participant and will go to final selection area from here. Thank you for bringing me here Tomioka-san. After saying this Tanjiro went towards starting area. Toji was also going to see how his was going to turn out, so he decided that he will stay there. Toji also remembered that Kocho's sister Kaneo was also going to enter this year, so it was going to see her skills too. With Tanjiro was walking up the stairs on mountains towards the site where final selection was going to begin. Tanjiro looked at wisteria trees and thought, wow, but wisteria shouldn't be blooming this time of year. While walking he reached a torii gate where all the participants were. They were rough looking. Tanjiro thought that there were so many people there. There were 2 children standing in front of gate. They both were wearing flower-patterned kimono and had lantern in their hands. One of them had black hair and other one had white. The child with black hair started talking, "Greetings everyone, thanks for gathering here tonight for final selection. Mount Fujikasani holds demons that demon slayer swordsmen had taken alive and trapped here." The white-haired child started speaking after others stopped. "Demons hate wisteria flowers, which bloom here even out of season. They cover mountain from its foot to halfway slope." Then both children said in unison, "However, from that point on, the wisteria does not bloom. So demons roam free. You must survive there for 7 days and nights. If you do, then you have passed final selection. Now go on." With all the children that were there left and went into upper part of mountain. With Toji was currently sitting at a tree listening to Master Ubuyashiki children telling all participants about the requirements they needed to fulfill for becoming a demon slayer. Toji thought, I guess this year Master's children are going to be here instead of Miss Amain to tell the participants about final selection. I guess we'll say my greetings too. After all the children left for test, Toji leaped out of wisteria trees and greeted Kariya and his sister. "I wish you a good health, Master Kariya and Lady Kanata." They both greeted him back in unison and said, "We wish for your good health to water Hashira Tomioka Ju. Can I know for what are you here?" Kariya asked. Toji told them that he was visiting Master Urokadaki and his student was late for final selection, so he brought him here. Toji then said, "I believe you will be attending final selection from now on instead of Lady Amain." Kariya looked at him and said with a smile on his face, "Yes. Since father's health is getting worse, mother is staying by his side and I will be conducting final selection from now on." "I see. Well then I guess we'll stay with you and Lady Kanata for your safety till you reach back to headquarters safe." Toji proposed it and Kariya answered, "You don't need to stay and waste your time here. We don't want to be reason for you not being able to take mission." Toji then answered, "You don't need to worry about that. I am currently relieved from duty to meet Master Urokadaki, and I was going back to headquarters after final selection was over. So, it will be alright and I can't have life of future head of Demon Slayer's crops compromised. Even though Master Ubuyashiki don't take bodyguard even after our several requests, I can at least send you back there safely." Kariya simply smiled and said, "I see. Then we will taking your offer. See, our destinations are same." Toji decided to sit near a wisteria trees. He focused his senses to highest levels to see what was happening and how selection going on. What caught an entirety of test was the boy with boar head, child that was killing demon while unconscious, and the boy with mohawk who was killing demons by eating demons. Kocho's sister was also doing quite well and was extremely skilled, but he expected it since Shinobu trained her. Kaneo was unofficial Tsuguko of insect Hashira, so he was not much interested in her since she might have taught her some advanced technique too. Tanjiro was doing good and keeping his head cool. Toji taught him keep focus and his head cool in battle because of hand demon, and he was sure that demon will attack Tanjiro since it specifically hunted Urokadaki's students. Kariya and Kanata were sitting near him. Then they asked him, "Tomioka-san, what do you think of the participants of this year?" Never before Hashira was present during final selection, so it was never known which are potential students, but today Toji was there, so they both asked him. Toji looked towards the young master and said, "There are few extremely talented ones, but one of them don't realize its own potential. There is one who can eat demon to fight with their abilities. They are really rare to see these days since demons specific target them for being fake demons. Their boy with boar head. He is currently the strongest among all the participants if we exclude Kocho's sister, since she was trained by her. Then there Tanjiro, but I believe he might not be good with water breathing. That boy is extremely passionate like Rengoku. It would be better for him if he tried to learn flame breathing in future." Kariya smiled and said, "I see. So there are few talented participants today." Toji only nodded. Few hours later Tanjiro encountered Hand Demon and was able to win against him. The body of Ju was happy that now there will be no Hand Demon to hunt students of Urokadaki's students. Toji sensed that happiness that rushed in his mind and smiled. 7 days later, after 7 days of survival test, only 4 were currently present and other were dead from Tanjiro perspective, but Toji knew that the boy with boar head left early. He understood that boy was fighting for fun and had no interest in Demon Slayer Corps. Toji could use that boy and train him into a Hashira with his own training because that boy would do any training for getting stronger. So he was going to ask for Master to send that boy to him. Master Kariya and Lady Kanata said, "Welcome back. Congratulations, I am glad you are safe." Toji was now standing behind them. Tanjiro was thinking, only 4 of us left. We started with nearly 20. That one kid isn't here either. I lost consciousness for the time and I guess he disappeared. I couldn't save him. Kaneo was quite playing with butterfly on her hand. The boy with blonde hair was repeatedly saying, "Die. I'm gonna die, 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 die. Even though I survived here, in the end I will die." The boy with scare on his face said, "So, what am I supposed to do now? Where my katana?" Toji understood this boy was just a hothead like Sanemi and there might be a scene. Master Kariya and Lady Kanata started telling again. "First we will provide you with core uniform. We will take your measurements and engrave your ranks. There are 10 ranks. Hino, Kanodo, Ino, Hinodo, Sakino, Sukinodo, Kano, Kanodo, Mizuno, and Mizunodo. Right now you all are at bottom rank Mizunodo. The boy with Scarface said again. Where's my katana? Lady Kanata continued, today you will choose your ore for your sword. Then it will take 2 weeks for katana to be finished. We will assign you Kasagi crows. Lady Kanata clapped and Kasagi crows came flying and went 4 of them. The boy with yellow hair got a sparrow but Toji didn't said anything since Master Obuyashiki is one who assigned them. So he might did it on purpose. Master Kiriya said, Kasagi crows are usually used for communication among corps members but not generally. The Scarface boy shook off the crow from his hand and said, I don't care about cows. I want katana, my color-changing katana. He tried to grab hair of Lady Kanata but Toji grabbed his and in mid-action and said, You have just became a slayer, so I will ignore this action now but know who you tried to hurt boy. I wouldn't care to break your if you tried to do this again. There was a killing intent in Toji voice that sent chill to everyone that was present there. Boy with yellow hair started shivering. Tanjiro froze in his place and the boy now was regretting the action was going to make. Master Kiriya said, I think you should forgive the child water Hashira. Toji released boy's hand but said, Apologize to Master Kiriya and Lady Kanata now for your action, and your katana will only made after you choose or so for now keep quiet. The boy said apologize to them and Toji pointed towards the area where oars were. Toji then went Tanjiro and said, Tanjiro, I will be leaving with Master Kiriya and Lady Kanata for headquarters. So go to Master Urokodaki for now and wait till your Nichiren blade comes. Tanjiro was too tired to say anything and only nodded to him. After they all choose there or they went back. And Toji went back to headquarters with Obuyashiki siblings. That's a wrap on the second part. Everyone, if you missed the previous parts, be sure to check out the playlist. And don't forget to support the author for their amazing work. I'll be back soon. Thank you all for your support.